this little mini thief in the night that comes and
Stealing
takes my
the chocolate.
chocolate.
It's cool how he catches him too in that scene. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. We are doing a review for Wonka, which came out last December. We are very excited about this episode because Wonka was a surprisingly fantastic movie. And we really, really enjoyed it and really loved it. Came out of nowhere, and I went in with really low expectations. So,
I actually really like this movie.
yeah.
It was surprising. I actually really like this movie.
Yeah. So, before we get too far into this episode, I just want to remind everybody to really help us out. You can go down there and hit that like and subscribe button down below. Really help us out. Or head on over to patreon.com/thecalvincam and join one of our 3 tiers that we offer. It really helps us support the show to get bigger and better as we want it to. Now, that being said, we're back in it with Wonka. We have a brand new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie that actually did a really great job. Unlike, maybe it's an unpopular opinion, but I did not like the Tim Burton Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I thought, I love Tim Burton, but I just did not like that movie. So
that movie is good and it has its place. I'm fond of the Gene Wilder one because
oh my god,
it's a classic, and I used to watch that a lot. Tiana used to play that a lot at over there at their house. It's my aunt. So I'm fond of this movie. Having to see it switch up a reiteration of the story was amazing.
Yeah, we finally got like the origin story of Willy Wonka, and it's really like a breath of fresh air, actually. So.
It actually is a really breath of fresh air. I still like what was phenomenal is I'm still like that it was a musical.
Yeah, because it doesn't portray itself that way, which is interesting. Like from all the advertisements and trailers, like I never got the feel that it was going to be a musical. So that was also kind of a shocking surprise, but it kind of made sense thinking about it because looking back at those trailers, there was sequences where everybody was in sync dancing in the street. And so I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. And obviously the original has musical scenes in it. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Wonka was a delightful surprise. I really loved it. It had a fantastic director, Paul King, who is known for the Paddington movies. And if you haven't seen Paddington, especially Paddington 2, I don't know where you've been because that is easily one of the best movies just ever made.
I guess I don't know where I've been because I haven't seen
you don't know you don't know where you've been. Like, honestly, like that movie is just supreme. But Paul King did a fantastic job, and he got Timothée Chalamet to be our Willy Wonka for this generation. And I think that Timothy did a fantastic job.
I thought Paul King's casting for Timothée Chalamet was perfect. I thought Timothée Chalamet's performance was great. I thought his song performance,
yeah,
he's an awesome singer, and he has a great voice.
He does,
and he got me hooked into the movie right away.
He has just this presence that's very charming, and it's very he made me feel very invested and very connected to the character. And maybe that's just because I love the Willy Wonka character in general, but I feel like Timothy, he made it his own, and he brought this new kind of essence to the character.
Not to mention he was super passionate about it. You can see it in the singing.
Yeah, he's very charismatic character, and he portrayed Wonka fantastically. Other characters, Hugh Grant, as the Oompa Loompa, that was a shocker. I didn't think he was going to be as good as he was, but it was awesome.
I loved Hugh Grant.
I did think that it was a little interesting that they made the Oompa Loompas so small in this one, but I also kind of liked it at the same time because it's just this little mini thief in the night that comes and takes my chocolate.
It's cool how he catches him too in that scene. It's really cool.
And I love how he tells Noodle about the little orange man comes. There's a little orange man. He comes in the night and he tries to get my chocolate. But he's he sets up a trap for him and he eventually catches him. So I think that he did a great job. Noodle was a great character as well, and all of the characters who were trapped in Miss Scrub's like basement.
Yeah, doing the work for him. Scrub.
Scrub.
I mean, the songs were fantastic in this movie.
Yeah.
They get you sucked in. I mean, a musical isn't a musical. Telling the story, it was amazing, and then just the songs were excellent, and it was a musical.
Yeah, they were. My daughter is 15 months old, and she doesn't really like. She watches some things when I'm watching things, but this was the first movie that I saw her watch where she consistently sat through it. Like she sat down on her own and just was like watching, or when they were singing that song. Oh, what's that song called? Where he's on the rooftop with Noodle and he has all the balloons.
I can't remember the song.
She was like straight up dancing. She was like up and down, like dancing. And I thought it was just it almost made the movie so much better just seeing her enjoy it for me. So
yeah, it's your daughter, and it's an enjoyable movie. And just like I said, Chalamet's performance as Wonka, the way he just did the songs is amazing.
Other supporting characters that were also fantastic. Keegan-Michael Key, of course, bringing his hilarious self to this film as the chief of police, I thought was hilarious. He was fantastic. I love that he progressively got fatter and fatter. I thought that was
from
so
consuming
funny.
all the chocolate that was given by Slugworth and his companions.
And Slugworth's song was good. Like where it was like no deal, like. And
yeah,
then finally
he's bribing him. It's like, no, he can't sell this chocolate here because our chocolate is just, it's plain, but it's good. You know what I mean? You're going to eat a lot of it.
Yeah, no. Slugworth, also fantastic villain. The actor Patterson Joseph, he was awesome. I thought he was very menacing. And I actually was very upset at him like the entire movie. So
not to mention his three compadres.
Yeah,
with him.
Prodnose and Fickle Grubber.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I also really liked that they had this like operation under the church, which I thought was hilarious. Where they had their vault of chocolate. And I just thought that I even thought the whole church thing was hilarious too. Like they bribed the father, and
which is played by Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean,
Rowan Atkinson. Oh man, it's awesome. And even like even just the choir in the church, like you know the whole thing is like he goes, "Be quiet, be quiet, be quiet." Yeah, it was just so good.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. Everything was great. Another character who I really loved is Bleacher. I thought that he was hilarious, especially when they convince him to show some leg to like seduce Miss Scrub. It's so funny. He like bends over.
Yeah, that scene was cool, and I just liked him overall. Like when you have Wonka on the bench, he's like making like a chocolate, you know, like a chocolate milk or something, and he's like, "Are you going to stay here overnight?" He's like, he goes, "I think so. I think the pot." He goes, "I don't know if that's a good idea." It's like it's really funny.
Yeah, no, he is a great character. A lot, just an all around fantastic film, with just so many delightful songs and just. I think that everything about this movie was fantastic and magical. I think that it really brought the magical part of what Willy Wonka is back to it. Unlike the Tim Burton version, which I felt kind of wasn't magical. It was more of like just creepy and scientific. And not like because like the Gene Wilder one is like it's so magical.
You kind of it kind of reminds me of like it's just Tim Burton's way of showing his version of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, just like his version in silhouettes, like in Batman, the way he wants to portray.
Yeah,
his
he's
Batman.
a very very particular director,
and not saying that it's a bad rendition of the movie. It's a phenomenal movie, and it has its place.
It has its place. But I think that Wonka definitely sits higher, and I think that it definitely captures the magic that the original one has. So
I most definitely agree.
And all in all, like I think that there was even it made me emotional. Like the ending is very, very emotional.
Yeah, I actually kind of a little teared up at the end.
I did too. Like I hugged my wife. I was like, man, like I'm like feeling some things. Like
it's I know which one you're talking about. It's kind of like when he's rubbing the chocolate bar, and
when he finally opens his mom's chocolate bar, and you see the golden ticket, and like I like lost it. I was just like, oh my god, I'm so like destroyed right now. This is like making me so sad in the most like special way. You know what I mean?
It made me feel really emotional in terms of our family. Like it's not who you it's not who you have the chocolate with. It's
not about the chocolate.
It's about who you share the chocolate with.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like an emotional thing for me.
It was very emotional. I immediately thought of that. Like I immediately looked at my daughter and was like, wow, experiencing this movie with her made it that much better. Just like the description of the chocolate. Like bravo. Like
yeah,
bravo.
and then Timothée Chalamet, he grabs a bar and he splits it up and gives it to all of his friends.
Yeah.
So it was a good ending to the movie.
All in all, let's get into the review. What would you give this movie?
You know what? I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 5. I like this movie.
Damn, you really like this movie.
I really like this movie. I like the Wonka universe. I have a deep place for the original one since I watched it so many times when I was a kid. Like it was literally on repeat. Tiana, like it has like a significant thing to me, this movie. Timothy Chalamet's like his acting and his portrayal as a character, his songs, every single song in this movie was awesome. I got into every single one of them. I thought that we didn't really talk about the artsy cinematography of this movie, like the scenes with Noodle and the sketches and all that other stuff, if you can remember those shots. That part of it was awesome, and just the whole origin story, and just all the actors involved in this production, like him and Hugh Grant. We haven't seen Hugh Grant for a long time. I haven't seen him since like 9 weeks. I think that's the movie with the baby, 9 weeks.
Yeah.
That was like one of my favorite movies he was in. It was just a solid movie for me, and it's worth watching. And it's one of those you could watch with other people, with your family, with other people. It's just a good movie.
Yeah. I would personally give this movie a 4 out of 5. I think that it is fantastic in all those ways that you described. I think that it was the biggest surprise for me of last year. I think, even though I just watched it, but it came out in 2023. I think that it definitely caught me off guard because I just didn't think that anything could be close to the original, and this definitely did that. That being said, cast great, direction fantastic. The songs were good. I think this movie could have been a little bit longer, and I think that's my only like critique. I kind of wanted to just see more, but all in all, it was fantastic, and I had a great time. And I hope that Paul King continues to make movies in this universe, and I hope that we get more of Timothy. So
yeah, but there's a kind of a hint when he buys the castle at the end too, that it could be set up for Paul King doing a sequel to this movie, because then we'll get more of the actual chocolate factory part of it.
Yeah, maybe we'll get pre-Charlie, but like after like foundation is built. You know what I mean?
And he can totally go that way with this. And as long as he brings Timothy back to portray Willy Wonka, it should be awesome.
Yeah. All right, that's gonna do it for our review. Now we have some movie trivia. Anthony's going to ask me questions today.
Yes, I get to drill him with movie trivia this time. All right, so I have some movie trivia. I'm just gonna bring it up here and start shooting off some trivia for Calvin. So,
I'm ready.
Here you go. Question 4, or question whatever. In The Matrix, does Neo take the blue pill or the red pill?
Takes the red pill.
You are right, sir.
Yeah. Of course I'm right.
You got to admit, that was a pretty easy one.
This is first grade, okay?
Yeah. We'll give you some more of these. Okay, this one's good. What flavor of Pop-Tarts does Buddy the Elf use in his spaghetti and Elf?
What flavor of Pop-Tart does... Oh, my God. This shows you how much I paid attention to that. I don't know. Chocolate?
Chocolate is right.
Oh,
Good guess.
holy shit. I mean,
he guessed right.
Well, I'm pretty sure he just like lived off of candy in that movie. So,
okay.
Was it Wonka chocolate?
No, it was not. It was just chocolate. All right. I have one for you. I don't know if you'll get it, but we'll try. What pop vocal group performs at the wedding in Bridesmaids?
Yeah. I've seen this movie a couple times, but I don't like, it's not one that I go out of my way to watch. Is it a boy band? It's pop group.
It's a pop group. Pop vocal group.
Pop vocal group. I don't know. I give up. I don't know.
Wilson Phillips.
Oh shit.
It was one that was one I wanted to throw.
That's a good
your
one.
way.
That's a good one. You got me. That's a good one.
All right. What American writer-director starred in several iconic European-produced spaghetti westerns?
Clint Eastwood.
You are correct, sir. Clint Eastwood. Next trivia question for Calvin. What TV show was Jack Nicholson referring to when he ad-libbed "Here's Johnny" in The Shining?
Johnny Carson.
Yep,
yeah.
You're correct. Maybe I should give him a hard one.
Go for it. I'm up to the challenge. It'll help me. It'll help improve my film my film knowledge.
Here we go. Here's a good one. Marlon Brando could have been a contender in what iconic 1954 crime drama?
It could have been a contender. Oh, man.
I made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Godfather? I mean, I know that's way later than 54, so
Yeah.
I'm like,
It was
I don't
you give
know.
up?
I don't know.
Okay. It was On the Waterfront.
Oh yeah, fucking.
I was gonna drill you with one.
Meow.
I was gonna drill you with one. Okay, we got one more. One more. Well, nobody's perfect is the final line in an ad punchline from what classic 1959 comedy starring Marilyn Monroe?
Nobody's perfect. Marilyn Monroe. I'm at a loss.
Some Like It Hot.
There's a lot of old movies that I have not watched.
I knew that's why I'd get you. I'd drill you with some old ones. You said make it hard for me.
Make it hard for me, but yeah. I've 70s, like 1970 and before, I have a really hard time with. Depending.
Maybe it'll make you go back and watch some of these older films.
I need to.
Anyways, that was the last question for Calvin. And yeah, that's going to do it for trivia.
All right, everybody. We'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Calvin Cam podcast. We appreciate you all so very, very much. And, if you like us, hit that like and subscribe button down below. It really helps us out. As well as you can go over to our social media platforms like Instagram or X and follow us over there. We like to communicate and build our community up. As well as you could also go to patreon.com/thecalvincam and join one of our 3 tiers that we offer. We offer a couple of different benefits per tier, and it's good stuff. And it would really, really help us, and we'd really appreciate it, of course. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you later.